Welcome back to Views with Hughes, your Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes, and story of the hour. Gina Carano is pushing back against Disney, and I told y'all that was going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and get into this interesting story right here. So y'all remember when, a long time ago, like a year or two ago, where Gina Carano got fired from Disney and everything because of the fact that, because of the different social media on posts that she posted on it's then Twitter, which is now X and everything. And you know what? That sparked a lot of fear from Star Wars fans, myself included. Okay. And it was like basically a sneak diss and everything, if you will. So yeah, basically now we see that Gina Carano, well, I told y'all this, she was going to go ahead and strike back. The whole debacle and everything. So Disney apparently tried to go ahead and justify their firing and everything, saying it was like they had the First Amendment right to go ahead and fire her because of the social media posts that she make and stuff. But now they're trying to dodge a bullet. See, Disney's trying to dodge a bullet, hoping to get the case itself dismissed. All right. But that's not going to happen. And guess what? Gina Carano's legal team isn't going to let that happen either. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get to this. So this came from Deadline, of all places, of course, where it talks about Gina Carano officially rejecting Disney's desire to dismiss her discrimination lawsuit and counters the Mouse House's carte blanche authority to fire her. So yeah, she also went on X and stuff to even go ahead and, when she got one of the article itself, decided to go ahead and voice her opinion on it, where she says, "We filed our response to Disney's attempt to dismiss my complaint. It's pretty disappointing to me. They misrepresented me even in their response. Just mind-blowing, the disrespect and lack of care for facts, but sadly not surprising anymore. This behavior has become the norm. Disney still has another chance to respond to our arguments, and then we have a court date set on June 12th, where the judge will hear arguments from the attorneys. I will be there." Y'all heard it right here. Gina Carano will be there, of course. After that, the judge would decide whether to allow us to move forward with our case. And we believe strongly there are no grounds for dismissal, and I should be allowed to proceed and state my case in the court of law. Please follow this case whether you are for or against me. One day you could find yourself on the other side of this of the aisle. Now, she also goes on to say, "I believe my case could bring balance and groundbreaking benefits for people across the board." And I guarantee you all, this isn't just going to be for her, but it's also going to be for those who were also terminated wrongfully by Disney. Okay, possibly even Roseanne Barr. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, well, actually, let's rewind a bit. One of the big major triggers for Gina Carano's firing was a storm on what was called Twitter, which is now X. Gina Carano was under pressure to include pronouns in her bio, but politely declined, stating it wasn't her thing. Okay, that sounds like, reasonable enough, but then you have a lot of people out there who were possibly Twitter bots at the time going up after her, who were possibly Disney shields and stuff going after her to go ahead and just force her to publicly shame her into changing her bio on Twitter. Okay. Instead of respecting her stance, certain Twitter users launched into a relentless harassment campaign against Gina Carano for weeks on end. And here's the kicker. Many of those throwing stones at her didn't even have pronouns listed in their own bios. Talk about hypocrisy, right? Now, in their legal rebuttal, Gina Carano's team isn't pulling any punches. Okay, Gina Carano and her team are highlighting a blatant double standard at play here. And Disney seems to treat Gina Carano differently because of her political beliefs, while giving Gina Carano's male co-stars a free pass for similar behavior. And what's Disney's defense strategy? They're actually hiding behind the shield of the First Amendment, claiming it grants Disney immunity to do as they please. Sounds like a classic move, trying to use constitutional rights as a get out of jail free card. Now, the defendants are arguing, well, Disney being the defendant here, they're arguing something that doesn't add up. Disney's saying that they had a right to control what Gina Carano, the actress, said because it somehow affected them or their show, but they can't prove it. They keep asking, how did it affect us? But they can't give a straight answer. Now, before they kicked Gina Carano out, they were about how great Gina Carano was and how fans loved her. But then suddenly they decided that they liked Gina Carano too much. You see, Gina Carano played this character who was tough and interdependent, and a lot of fans admired that. But then some folks on Twitter, especially those who are pretty extreme or just not all there, decided that because they like this character, Gina Carano had to be just like her in real life and agree with them on everything. Even though she didn't, they came after Gina Carano whenever she spoke up about her own views, which happened to lean more to the right compared to some other folks involved in the show. Now, Disney, where Gina Carano worked, definitely has its own political leanings. And it seems like Disney's letting some people slide while going hard on others, depending on which way they lean politically. Now, the court paper showed that Disney twisted Gina Carano's words, trying to make it seem like she got fired because she said something terrible about the Holocaust. But what Gina Carano actually said wasn't about any specific political group. It was more about how people start to turn on each other, over petty stuff, like when they're saying online or which party they support. Gina Carano was pointing out that in the big historical tragedies like the Holocaust, it didn't just happen out of the blue. It started with people hating over small things, which is sadly true. You can even find similar ideas at the Auschwitz Museum. Okay, now let me break this down for you. There's this whole big thing going on with Pedro Pascal. You remember who plays the Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin and stuff. Pedro Pascal, however you pronounce his last name, posted a picture where he's calling out different groups as losers, like the Confederate flag folks, the Nazis, and now he's throwing in the MAGA hat wearers too, the Trump supporters. Now that's got a lot of people heated, and rightly so. But Pedro Pascal is basically saying that wearing a MAGA hat is as bad news is just as bad as waving a Nazi flag around, okay? But there's more. Back in 2018, before all this Mandalorian stuff happened, Pedro Pascal posted another thing comparing kids in cages at the border to the ones in Nazi Germany. Now, that's just stirring the pot right there. And then there's the whole deal with Gina Carano. Now, Gina Carano got cut or axed from the show for speaking her mind on social media. They're saying that it's because she didn't put pronouns in her bios or something. But hold up, there's double standard here. You see, when Disney wanted to lay down social media rules, people got all up in arms about free speech. But now, when Gina Carano gets booted for the same thing, all of a sudden it's okay. And don't even get me started on the First Amendment, They're saying that Gina Carano misused the Holocaust for her own gain. But what about Pedro Pascal? He did something similar, but nobody's giving him grief. It's like they're actually playing favorites. So yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy going around, and I detest it for every bit of it. They're trying to argue their case, but it's not adding up. And it's like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. And let me tell you, that's simply not going to fly. And remember, she got a big backing from ex-owner / Tesla owner / Starlink owner Elon Musk. Okay, now who did we also forget about all of this? Kathleen Kennedy, the woman who was responsible for the firing in general. Okay. Kathleen Kennedy probably saw that, well, we don't know about the whole, ideology she's trying to put out there and stuff through the content and all that. She decided to go ahead and now make Star Wars 50% female, or Lucasfilm 50% female and stuff. And that's not working in her favor right now either. But the fact of the matter is we have Gina Carano that's going to go ahead and go not only against Disney, but also Kathleen Kennedy as well. But Gina Carano, she's not backing down. Her legal team's not backing down. Elon Musk is not backing down because of the fact that Gina Carano, it seems like she definitely has a strong case. And I'm pretty sure Gina Carano also has receipts to prove it. Okay. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have on this particular topic. If you enjoy what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash that like button. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoy what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, and you enjoyed all the content, all the content I put out there, talk about tongue twister, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you be notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.